So, I've been vlogging for 7.5 years. Doesn't seem like it. It seemed like just yesterday. But yeah, 7.5 years ago, I went to YouTube. I watched for a month, maybe, in July or August of 2006. And then within a month, I put up my own first video. And I don't even know if I thought about it as vlogging at the time. I was just putting up videos. The first one, I think, was probably a response video to a Renetto vlog. I did a couple of those. And then I started interacting with people who were commenting on his content. I would look at their stuff. I made a couple of videos directed to Lori. I interacted with Kennergy. We had this thing going on. We had a group of people who we would write out a story. One person would start with the first line of the story, say it, act it out maybe, and then we would kind of watch for that and then dash and try and be the first one to write the next line and read it, type it across the screen, or even maybe act part of it out. That was pretty cool. You know, keep the ball rolling and get that story rolling along. I also did poetry vlogs. There was a member named Lem Kuiper. He was a friend of Perry Urban's, and he's a guitarist, and he would make videos of his own compositions playing them on guitar. And I would take the title, and I would be inspired by the title and the music, and I would write a poem. I contacted him, and to make sure it was okay to post that video, and I did, or he did. He said it was okay, and I would do slideshows and read my poem over his music. That was a lot of fun. It was pretty cool. And Perry was involved in some community stuff that was going on right around January of 07. There was a woman in Australia who had her daughter taken from her by social services. And it seemed to be some contrived circumstances. And so the community, a core of people at YouTube, got together, made a collaboration, made a couple of videos, addressing her and offering her support. And that's when things started getting dicey for me at Loggerheads, because the trolls really came out of the woodwork then. I mean, they were there, making comments, but several people who were involved in that collaboration were harassed by trolls, and I was specifically. I've seen comments on any video I made after that. I could not make a video without these, and the trolls were probably only just teenagers. They were pretty obnoxious, but sometimes they were pretty obscene too. And then I started getting PMs. And the thing was, when I was doing my poetry videos, I was putting copyright with my name on the screen. So they Googled my name, they found me. They didn't find my address because I was pretty much off the map. They didn't find me, but they found things that I was associated with. I had a poetry website that I had started with my daughter when she was 9 to try and encourage her to write. I would write a poem and encourage her to write one, and then we would post them on the webpage. And give that to family and friends so they could see it, and really to encourage my daughter. Well, from that, they got her name, and they would mention her in comments, obscene comments. And then they started opening accounts at YouTube with my name. First with a variation of my screen name, a couple of different variations, and then leaving obscene comments. So I contacted YouTube. They were pretty responsive. They closed those down. Then they opened one up in my own real name. YouTube closed that down. They opened one up in my son's name. This went on for a while. But YouTube was getting bigger and bigger. And by September, it finally got to the point where they wouldn't even respond, or they came back with, "We see no violation of terms of service." And when that happened, it was when they opened up an account in my son's wife's name and put up some obscene stuff. And one of the things they put up was a screen cap of one of my videos. So it was my face and with pedophiles stamped right across it. When YouTube said no violation of terms of service, I said, screw that, and I was out of there. I closed my account. But the thing was, when things started getting dicey anyway in January or so, live video had come along. And so a bunch of people migrated to live video. And I met some great people over there. And there were some great collaborations going on. There were some people that would write stories, actual scripts, and different members would take parts in that, and then they would film themselves acting out the part. So it was pretty cool. I never got involved in that acting stuff. I guess I was too self-conscious to do that on camera, and I probably still am now. You know, even though I'm much much more comfortable on the camera now. I mean, I can talk like I'm just talking to you or to myself. You know, I was pretty stiff in the beginning, and even when I first came to Loggerheads, I was pretty stiff. But I met some great people. I met Sid the Skeptic, and Sid had started talking about something that was going on off of live video. See, live video started getting crappy. They started a live streaming thing on which their front page, everybody pretty much had the same front page. And videos would be featured. And there would be a screen with a live streaming video and some smaller thumbnails of videos you could go to, and you could go to those rooms and watch, basically go to the room and watch the video and participate. But quite often they would be pretty close to soft porn, you know, and some people really found that offensive, because we would give links to live video out to friends and family so that they could, you know, check out some of this creative stuff that was going on. You know? So, and I had been doing poetry vlogs there, and I had been involved in some other collaborations, but it just made it unpleasant. And Sid started talking about this site that looked like it could be that next best thing. She couldn't give a lot of details because it was a closed site at the time, but soon things were moving fast, she'd said. Well, they moved so fast that I got an email from Kennergy, and he invited me to join Vloggerheads. And I'm glad I did, because some of the people from live video came over, a good number, plus I met some more great people. When Vloggerheads first started, we had quite a diverse group here. I mean, and there was a lot of activity going on. I mean, you had more than 100 members that were making videos a couple of times a week, and there was so much content to keep track of that I had to pretty much pick and choose who I could follow. I mean, I would occasionally maybe look at a Pizza Boy video or something else, but I was enough out of the loop on some of that stuff that I didn't catch the drama that was going on. Then there was some drama early on, and it got pretty offensive, enough to drive some people off the site. You know, the people involved in those debates. But when it honed down, there was still, you know, I mean, quite a number of active people here, and quite a bit of content to keep track of. It was nice. It was nice. Now that offensive, I would say offensive, because some people were offended back then in that early year. It was nothing compared to, say, 2 or 3 years ago, the past year to 3 years. I mean, debates don't have to go to the personal level, but they do here. And I can't understand it. I really don't. I've seen some great people leave. I've seen some people that I really don't care if they come back, but I know that other people care about them. So, I mean, I really would like to see, you know, people coming back just to get some interaction without getting personal, if you know what I'm saying. It'd be nice. I've met some great people here. I know I've said that. You know, all through vlogging, I've met some great people. I've met some great people here. Now, the first meetup that took place with Vloggerheads people, I did not make. That was in New York. It was only 400 miles from Buffalo, but I was involved in other stuff at the time. But Tom Guariello and Al, the Doctor Who, R. Robbins, some other people. Victoria, not our Victoria from Chicago, but Victoria from Washington State, maybe? No, Turtle? Yeah. But then it wasn't long after that, fall of 2009, when Scott Murray had his barbecue, S.A. Murray. And I got to meet a handful of people. I made that trip just outside of Philadelphia, and I'm glad I did. Met Scott Carruthers, Diesel, Frank, Skibby, Al the Doctor Who, Dick H, and Shar, Steph, Al's Steph, and Linda, you know, Scott's wife. I don't think I left anybody out, but that was great. I mean, I was already hooked on vlogging. I had done several hundred videos at live video in that short span, and already quite a few at Vloggerheads. But getting to meet people that I was talking to on camera and meeting them and the people that were talking to me, you know, and that's the coolest thing. And even now, you know, to think that I'm talking to people, you know, those who take the time to watch my video, that I could end up meeting. You know, and I've met a good 40 or more people from Vloggerheads, you know, traveling all over the country meeting people. So I'd say that's the best thing that came out of vlogging for me, but it's not quite. See, vlogging has been really good for me. Talking to the camera is, in the beginning, it was like talking to myself. If I was stiff, I mean, there were other times when I was just pouring out emotion, you know, and just being myself, not having anyone to talk to, and talking to the people behind the lens, talking about things that were going on in my life, in my head, in my heart. And yeah, you know, I mean, I talked about my mother's dying, her death, her decline leading to her death, and then a year later, my sister's. I did not talk directly about my separation and divorce, but I probably made some reference to it. I know I alluded to it plenty of times because those poetry vlogs, especially some of the earlier ones, were, I mean, that poetry comes from my head and my heart. So, yeah, I was pouring some emotion into those poetry videos. But I get inspiration from the people that I see on screen too. I mean, you know, I mean, there's the Kami, Vloggerheads update, and you know, some of my poems directed. Some people will tell you directed specifically at them, but some of the poems actually were poems that, you know, you can read into them what you want. And, you know, some people would do that. That's unfortunate, but yeah, vlogging has got me here. It's got me here, and that's the best thing that's come out of vlogging. Man, 7.5 years. Hardly seems like it. Hey, isn't it time for you to do a vlog? I've said this before. It is. It's time for you to do a vlog. Ciao, folks. Vlog on.